Hi, I'm Skyler, welcome to AgamidCG, and today is day 11 of my 30-day sculpting challenge. Today's prompt is tortoise. For this prompt, I had no idea how far down the rabbit hole that I was gonna go. I started looking at cute small tortoises and then larger tortoises, and then I just wanted to see how cool tortoises could get. And eventually I ended up being fascinated by Galapagos tortoises, and then that led me to Pintus Island tortoises, which have these crazy long necks and they look super cool. And then I sadly realized that recently they were extinct. The last Pintus Island tortoise was Lonesome George. I'm not gonna go into his entire lore, but it's a really cool story if you look into it and you like learning about extinct or endangered creatures of recent times. So since that's the only Pintus Island tortoise, it doesn't make sense to only use that one, although there's amazing reference for him due to the taxidermy process. I ended up using references from all over the place, mostly focused on Galapagos tortoises because the Pintus Island tortoise is a branch from that. I started with the shell since it felt like that's the strongest structural component of the entire animal. I carved out where I thought the arms and legs would connect, and then I pulled out the neck shape into that long curved pose. I noticed some strong areas of volume around the neck, so I started blocking those in. Next, I pulled out the front legs. As I'm learning more about anatomy, it seems like the whole upper body really sticks out from the shell a lot more than you would expect. The front legs were surprisingly tough. They're huge, but they taper in certain areas. They get thinner around the knee, and they honestly look different from mostly every angle. This really tested how I was reading my reference. I added the stumpy, shorter looking back legs and the curved tail, then moved on to the underside of the shell. I noticed that there's a protrusion at both the front and back, so I added that in as well. At that point, I realized my shell shape wasn't quite right, and it felt a little too blobby and square. So looking at more top-down references, I noticed that the shell actually tapers at the front and the back, and almost like a cowboy hat, so I adjusted the overall shape. I also remembered from my research that the shell sits higher than you'd expect. It's really raised so they can lift their necks high to reach cactuses and vegetation, so I pushed the shell upward to reflect that. I kept working on the shell, trying to hint at some larger volume changes in structure. It wasn't until I had less than 10 minutes left that I finally got to work on the face. At that point I was rushing, blocking it in as fast as I could and throwing in some eyes. The face is definitely lacking. And then time was up. This was a really interesting sculpt. I had a lot of fun with it, but I don't think I really hit the posturing and proportions that I wanted to of a Galapagos turtle, or especially the Pintus Island tortoise. But for 1 hour, I felt like I got a lot done, so I'm pretty happy with that. As always, thanks for watching. If you have ideas for things I should sculpt next, or you have feedback, feel free to throw it into the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on day 12.